Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to continue talking about Stranger Things Season 1 from the perspective of a Dungeon Master viewing. So I did a Dungeon Master viewing of all 4 seasons of Stranger Things, and I want to discuss the show as a Dungeon Master. All right, so let's jump into this. So we're in Stranger Things Season 1, Episode 1, and it starts with the the very beginning of the show starts with we're in Hawkins, Indiana. It's November 6th, 1983, and then which is a Sunday, and we see the lab. So we start at this laboratory. Now this is a U.S. government laboratory. We know this from we learned this later in the. By the way, yeah, I'm not even gonna say it. Yeah. So this content's like 8 years old. I don't think I need to give a spoiler warning. Okay, let's go. So basically, this is a U.S. government lab, and they have been doing experiments on the upside down, right? And it gets out of control. Like they have pierced a veil between the IRL and the upside down. Now, first of all, what is the upside down, right? Now, basically, the fictional world of Stranger Things is 2 worlds. It's a fictional version of our world, right? So, and it's really only changed to keep anonymity, right? Like Hawkins, Indiana is a fictional town. It's not a real town. You could say any town name you want to, like. And so the reason why they're doing this is like they're like, oh, a bunch of evil things happen in this town, but they're keeping this. They're using the same weapons, the same clothing. It's our world, right? Back in the 80s, all right. But what is the upside down? So the upside down is this hellscape, this wastescape that is ethereal and not accessible by most human beings, right? But it has its own denizens, and a whole bunch of creatures live in it, right? But it also, there's a lot of clues that it is actually connected to hell, right? Which I think is very interesting. But it's also a 100% canon Dungeons and Dragons realm, right? Now, why do in my humble opinion, why do I believe that? Well, uh, Dungeons and Dragons Stranger Things starter box, it literally establishes the Upside Down as a canon, a fully canon D&D realm, right? And they're like, hey, get your character sheet, get your Dungeon Master, you're going to run this because this is an official D&D red ampersand Dungeons and Dragons realm. So basically, the Upside Down is fully accessible from the realms of Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, it's canon, right? That's a big deal. Like, it's a big freaking deal. The show didn't just talk about Dungeons and Dragons; it literally made the Upside Down accessible and a fully canon Dungeons and Dragons realm. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. And I don't think anything like that. Well, yeah, it's very rare and very incredible. Okay. So this creature, so basically in the beginning, we see the lab and we see a scientist running from a creature that we don't see. Now this creature is a humanoid, okay? It has arms and legs just like you and me, but it's about 7 feet tall, okay? It's a full 7 feet tall. It's wiry, very wiry and strong, and its face splits open to expose a maw of razor sharp fangs, right? It's incredibly deadly hunter. It's definitely sentient, but the sentient in the way an animal is sentient, right? So very interesting creature, right? It definitely has thoughts. It has feelings. It has emotions. It has a spiritual aspect to it. It has a corporeal aspect to it. And what I think is really fascinating is we see this creature, but where it really gets interesting, right, is we know that basically Hopper and Joyce, actually Hopper, okay? Hopper's a regular dude, right? He's just a bog standard, drink a beer, watch football, like go out on a date kind of guy. Right? He's just a regular dude. He's a muggle, right? And he is not going to understand a creature from hell, right? Like a corporeal creature like a hellhound coming forward onto our realm, right, into IRL, right? He's never going to understand that, right? So later, the the name attached to this creature is Demogorgon, and the reason why is Jim Hopper, an adult law enforcement officer, has no ability to grasp or understand or fight this creature from a hellscape, but kids who have spent 3 years playing Dungeons and Dragons fully do. They have the imagination to understand it. They also have the idea of a multiversal creature is not even remotely even shocking to them, right? And they know, and they are fully they're practiced at slaying monsters, right? Like, so it's really wild that only Dungeons and Dragons is going to allow the IRL resources on this earth to even understand what this hellscape denizen is, right? And so the true name of Demogorgon is put upon it. I think Dustin Henderson is the first person to do this. So I think this was really fascinating aspect of what we see. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion on Stranger Things Season 1, Episode 1. The important part's when I get to hear your humble opinion when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider like, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.